So it's been a while since we've done a Console Wars podcast episode, and tonight we're going over the failing of Concord. You love to see it. The controversy behind Dustborn, more like Flop-Bourn. Alan Wake 2 still hasn't made any money. Gee, someone could have told you that was going to happen. Ubisoft is creating monsters now. We'll get into that. We'll talk a little bit about Gamescom being a massive disappointment. Also, is 30 frames per second unplayable? This has become a huge hot topic issue recently. And then lastly, the 2025 blockbuster movie lineup has been announced, and we're going to go over that. These are the stories tonight on the Console Wars podcast. Real quick, if you've seen one of these before, you know that we are giving away an Xbox One S with a battery pack add-on that charges 2 batteries for your console. It's really cool piece of tech. I would keep it if it wasn't for the fact that I have nothing that'll fit now, and they don't sell them anymore, which is unfortunate because it's a really nifty battery pack. They've always worked well for me. They charge fast on the system, and it's just a well-designed thing. Real quick, 4K movies don't like playing on it. That's something you might be able to fix, but Xbox One games work perfectly fine on it. So that's why I'm giving it away, because I have a Series X, and also I don't need it anymore. And so the requirements to win this is you have to like any video. If you like more videos, that helps me beat the algorithm incredibly. Seriously, I can get 1,000 views if I get around 20 likes. That's about it per video, and I average about 6 likes per video. So if you guys would mind throwing on some likes, subscribing to the channel, sharing any one of these videos with your friends, and if you want to enter in, go to our Facebook or Twix account, which is Twitter X. I like to mix the two. I'm trying to make that a thing, and do a direct contact with us saying, hey, I would like to enter in for the Xbox One giveaway. And you can just do that last part, but if you don't do the like, share, subscribe stuff, then it's going to be longer before we hit the end goal of 1,020 subscribers. That's when the contest ends, and we will choose a victor on who wins the Xbox One. So again, you can just do the direct message with us and do nothing else, but it's going to be longer before we end the contest, and you'll have more competition then. So doing that other stuff helps end it quicker and will give you less competition in winning this. So without further ado, let's get into the first story. So I called it. I fucking called it. I said weeks ago on one of our later episodes of the Console Wars podcast that Concord was going to be a flop, and boy, was Concord a flop, and I'm here to celebrate it. So, with Concord was one of the Sony games that was really pushing, thanks to Jim Ryan, second worst CEO of a gaming company of all time. He had this huge, giant push for live service games. That's the future. We're going to do nothing but live service games because I want my Fortnite. I assume he sounds a pompous ass like that. And so, just every studio, he was forcing to make live service after live service after live service. And then he got kicked out. He stepped down, but he got kicked out. We know he got kicked out. And some of them were already in development. They couldn't change it, and Concord was one of these. It was in development for 8 years. Okay? 8. That is insane. That this game was in development for 8 years. That is just mind-blowing that they wasted all that time on 8 years for, at the time of this recording, 164 players with an all-time peak of 697 players on Steam. Now, obviously, they don't show Sony player counts and whatnot, but Steam is a good indicator of if it's like this on Steam, it's probably like this on PlayStation as well. And I mean, that is abysmal. All-time peak of 697 players. That is insanity. And, like, look, I will acknowledge, I'm going to step back a little bit. I'm going to take a step back and acknowledge that, yes, Concord, I don't hate. I was hating on it seriously. Like, severely hating on it. But looking at the game, I realized that actually, I don't hate this game because it actually does something that doesn't piss me off. It's a game where you're actually playing against other people online. There's none of this stupid, you're playing alone against AI-controlled bots and you're online for reasons. No, it's not that. There's actually a legitimate reason why you're playing online with Concord. And so for that, I'm going to take back some of the hateful things I've said about Concord. It's like, okay, I understand why this game exists. Because I don't hate that there's online-only games that have it where you're playing against other players around the globe online. I think that is a necessary thing that exists in gaming, and I'm all for kind of games like that. I don't play them, but I think it's perfectly fine. But what makes me want to destroy everything in this room is when I see something like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and you're playing against AI-controlled bots through 100% of the campaign, and you have 4 AI-controlled characters, you're playing one of them, and there's absolutely no reason to be online, but you're online for reasons. What those reasons are, you will never find out. And any game that does that deserves to die a horrible, slow, gruesome death. Concord didn't do that. So, I will take back half of the terrible things I've said about Concord. Now, does this game look great? No, it looks terrible. It looks like a generic Overwatch knockoff. And the fact that it hasn't even hit 1,000 players on Steam is, like, honestly, you have no one to blame but yourself. And now there's this rumor going around that Sony is raising the price of a PS5 to quell off the impact of the money lost from Concord. Like, apparently they're due to lose $200 million because of this flop. And so instead of like going, okay, we messed up, we're going to try and make games people want, they're just raising the price of the PlayStation 5 again. Usually consoles are supposed to drop in price, not go up in price. So the fact that I got mine at the beginning of the generation, I actually got it cheaper than most people have gotten it, because I only had to pay, the standard price, and now people are having to pay $550, $600 on them now, which is insane. Usually 3-4 years in, the price is cut in half, but not with the PlayStation 5, because they're doing so well. If you don't realize that's sarcasm, then I feel sorry for you. It's sad, but at the same time, I called it. That's why I'm wearing these today. my victory glasses. My Thug Life victory glasses, which I can't see shit through. Because the little, like, digital blocks, like, they're obstructing my vision really bad. So I have to just, like... But totally worth it. So, next is this little game called Dustborn. And Dustborn is this kind of narrative adventure developed by, I think, a Swedish or a Norwegian team. And it's considered the wokest game of all time. And most people, when they look at this game, they think it's a parody. They think it's someone making fun of the extreme far left. And apparently, no. It's legitimate. They are actually legitimately, like, not joking about this with the stuff in the game. And, like, there's plenty of things online you can see about it, from the atrocious music played at the beginning to some of the questionable moral decisions you do in the game, but is justified because it fits your ideals. Yeah, like, looking at some of the stuff in this game, the main characters are, like, psychopathic serial killers. But, you know, they're in the right because their ideas are best. And I mean, like, literally, there's this scene where, like, they just run someone off the road to get away from the cops, and it's just like, oh, well, we win. And it's just like, you literally just killed a bunch of people. And, like, there's also another scene where, like, they talk two cops into shooting each other, and then they talk a witness into killing themselves. And these are the heroes of this game. Like, it is, like, horrifying. Like, there is multiple choice in this game, and when I do eventually play it, I'm going to see if I can have them be good guys and not do these horrible decisions that they're doing. I say I'm going to get it because usually anything that flops terribly bad, like Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, in a few weeks becomes available for free on the Epic Game Store. And so, like, I now own a digital copy of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. Not because I want it, but because Epic Games was giving it away for free. Same with the terrible Saints Row remake. I got that for free. I literally could have gotten a collector's edition of that for $6, and I didn't get it because it's like, why? Like, that thing looked terrible. But then Epic Game Stores gave it away for free. It's like, yeah, sure. So eventually, one day you will see a review for the terrible Saints Row remake and Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, and I promise you, in a few weeks, they are going to have Dustborn for free on Epic Game Store, because the player count right now at time of this recording is 45 people on Steam. That wasn't a typo. Not 45,000. Not 4,500. Not 450 even. 45. As of right now. The all-time peak was 83. Not even 100 people played this at its all-time peak. That's how bad this has been crashing. And, like, honestly, I don't know if this is a Sweet Baby Inc. game, but it might as well be. I mean, this was made, like, they started making this back in 2016 as a response to the 2016 US presidential election. I shit you not. Like, that's what inspired this game, because they were so mortified by that election that it's like, we have to do something. People in Sweden or Norway, I always confuse the two, and it's like, it's not even your country, man. Like, why do you give a flying rat's ass? I mean, that's like me making a movie because I wasn't happy with how the Rwandan presidential election turned out 5 years ago. Why would I give a shit? It's not even my country. And look, I don't like getting into politics on this channel, but this game is insanely political, and so I might as well just lightly touch it, you know, touch on it. But I mean, look, I don't care what your political associations are. I got friends, they love Trump. I got friends, they hate Trump and they love Biden and Kamala Harris. I mean, you know, because I'm not a selfish little child. Okay? Like, I understand that people have different backgrounds and they come from all walks of life, and, you know, they have different experiences and different, you know, upbringings. And so I understand that when I begin a friendship with someone, they're not going to have the same exact ideas as me. Okay? And the people like this who made this game that were so butthurt by the 2016 presidential election, keep in mind, that's like 8 years ago. Okay? These people are psychotic. They're insane. Alright? Look, there were previous elections that I was upset about. It's like, man, this really sucks. Elections that happened in my country, okay? Because I don't care about other countries' elections, because I'm an adult. And you know what? I moved on with my life. And looking back, it's like, yeah, that sucked, but you know what? It's in the past, man. I don't care. These people obviously do care. And, like, look, I hate to break it to you, but there's a very good chance Donald Trump's probably going to win the 2024 election. Now, keep in mind, I've been wrong before on the channel. I'm just a guy who talks into a camera. I'm not an expert, okay? Just a guy who talks into the camera on the internet. And I've been wrong before. And if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that when I'm wrong, I call it out. Like, I've made some predictions, and then the next episode, when the predictions came out to be wrong, I just go, I was so wrong on every possible level. So, keep that in mind. I could be dead wrong about this, but from what I'm seeing, from reading the writing on the wall, I think he's probably going to win. I mean, the assassination attempt probably solidified his numbers. The fact that the opposing team is trying to run a brand new candidate 2 months before the election is just, like, an absolute nightmare for that campaign manager. Like, good luck, buddy. Like, the campaign manager for Kamala Harris, I salute you. You're trying to run a candidate with 2 months to go. Like, just... it's just like... So, I mean, crazier things have happened. It looks like he's probably going to win. And honestly, if that happens, I would just say, don't fret. Crack open a beer, pop in a movie or a game, and enjoy life. Don't do what these psychopaths did with Dustborn and go, we're going to stew and fret over this for 6 to 8 years. Don't do that. You'll come off as insane. Okay? Go outside. Meet some people. Touch grass. Okay? Someone I'm very close to, I know you're watching, babe, she doesn't follow politics. And she's a very happy person because of it. So, like, all I have to say is, you know, enjoy life and don't do what these people did with this game, Dustborn. Now, when I eventually play it, because it's going to become free on the Epic Game Store in a couple of weeks or months, I will eventually play it and I will laugh my ass off at it. Moving on. So, Remedy, the developers of Max Payne, Quantum Break. There's a few games with the name Quantum in it, so I get them mixed up. Not Quantum, I think it's Quantum Break. Alan Wake 2, Control. Remedy has revealed that Alan Wake 2 still hasn't made Remedy any royalties. But work is still underway on Max Payne's PS5 remakes. Yeah, I could have told you that you weren't going to make money on this game. Like, seriously. When I was kind of interested in getting this game, but then when they announced that it was going to be digital only, it's like, I'm sorry, I'll wait for a discount. I don't like paying full price on digital only games unless it's like VR, because VR rarely ever gets a physical release. So with that, it's like, okay, it's not the bulk of my collection, and it has to be something really special though. I don't pay full price on most games. I could probably name on one hand how many games I've paid full price for. And so I usually don't ever pay full price for a game. But that was the thing that turned me off. And then the other thing that just, like, okay, I'm never getting your game, is hearing that Sweet Baby Inc. was working on Alan Wake. And some of the things that I've heard happen in the game, it's just like, yeah, only an idiot would have ran that. Like, just, there's some questionable dialogue, there's some stupid choices. And, like, honestly, Remedy, you made this political, and people don't want politics when playing a dark sci-fi fantasy. They want a dark sci-fi fantasy to escape the reality of politics. And too many creators or artists are trying to push politics into their content now. And it's just turning people off. Okay? I mean, hell, Alan Wake isn't even really the main character in Alan Wake 2. That was a weird choice. But it's like, I mean, now they've announced they're doing a physical release of Alan Wake 2 because, hey, that was a bad choice to make it digital only, and maybe they may make some money with the physical release, but at this point the damage is done. I don't think anyone cares. I think really people are just interested if you're going to screw up the Max Payne remakes and if Control 2 is going to suck. And then Ubisoft is now creating monsters, which is weird. So they have 2 games coming out this year. Assassin's Creed Shadows. I've talked about both these before, how I think they're probably not going to do well, but today we're focusing on Star Wars Outlaws. They're coming out with 2 games this year, only 2. Assassin's Creed Shadows and Star Wars Outlaws. Star Wars Outlaws has already released for pre-order members who bought the ultra super duper pre-order package. That's $130. I don't understand the logic of pre-orders like that. I mean, maybe it's a collector's edition, but these aren't the collector's editions. These are just the pre-orders with extra content added in. That just doesn't make any sense to me. But those people who spent that kind of cash, they're getting the game a week or 2 early, and some of the scenes are coming out and it's haunting. Okay, so the lead character, I think it's Kai Fetris or something like that. A lot of people have been pointing out that the character model does not match the actress, and the actress is quite stunning. She's a model, okay? She's quite beautiful, and her character in the game looks like this. Okay, I'm pulling up a side by side of these 2. These are not the same 2 people. This is not the same person. If you try telling me that this is the same person, I'm insane. You need stupid pills. Seriously, this is not the same person. And there's this argument going out well, actually bringing a person to life in a game is really difficult, and it's really hard, and you couldn't do it, and we haven't reached that level of. Gee, that looks like Idris Elba. Gee, that looks like Keanu Reeves. I mean, seriously, when it comes to male characters being adapted to video game screen, they look great. But when it comes to women, nah, you gotta make them look like the troll that lives underneath the bridge outside your house. I mean, seriously, what the fuck is this? I don't know what this is. This is not this actress. This is some creature that's raiding the lands of Middle-earth. I mean, this is not an accurate depiction of the actual face model that they based this character off of. And so, I mean, and I'm not even going to get into the AI bugs and some of the weird glitches happening in this game, and also the fact that apparently there's only 3 open worlds you can actually explore. And I remember when this game was first being teased, someone was saying that the rumors are saying that there's going to be 100 open world planets and a fast star system. Yeah, that didn't happen. So I don't know what this is. What are you guys doing with this? I don't get this. Don't come crying to me when Star Wars Outlaws doesn't sell well. Apparently someone, this is hearsay, secondhand information, but apparently a big shop retailer in a region was saying that the amount of pre-orders they have in total for this game is 42. Not 4,200, not 420, 42. That is bad. That is really, really bad. And so maybe they're turn it around and people will absolutely love it. I don't know, maybe they'll be able to patch the game up to actually look like the original face model, but I have to press X for doubt. So in this past week, Gamescom happened, and I watched it, and I was really disappointed in it. Like, I saw almost nothing I got excited for. Yes, there was a new trailer released for Directive 8020, which, honestly, I completely forgot that game was in development, and I'm a sucker for space horror. So, there's not a lot of space horror out there. Like, you can name some things, but when you really get down and look at it, the list is kind of limited. So, I latch on to space horror whenever I can, because I love the genre, the subgenre. And so, when I saw this trailer for Directive 8020, it's like, oh, I completely forgot about that. Ow. Yeah, I completely forgot about Directive 8020. And so, I mean, yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Don't know when it'll come out, but... And then the other thing I got really excited for at Gamescom was Tim Miller walks out on the stage. It's like, what's this about? Is he like making games? And he's talking about Love, Death, and Robots, which is a really fun anthology series. Not every video is great, but there's some real banger episodes in that anthology series. And he was saying that we're doing kind of a new thing with Amazon Studios. And he showed this trailer, and basically it's a new anthology series where each episode is an individual story following an established video game IP. So this show's called Secret Level, and there's going to be an episode on Warhammer. There's going to be an episode on Sifu, God of War. All of these like well-known video games, y'all getting an individual episode on that franchise. And it's just like, okay, this is kind of cool, actually. Even if some of the episodes suck, it's still really cool. And also, Amazon Prime. I got Amazon Prime subscription, so I can watch this day one. I don't know. I might actually do an individual episode review of each episode. I don't know. I'll have to play it by year. You know, I've made plenty of bold plans in the past, and they don't come true on the channel, so... I don't know, I'll have to wait and see, but, like, I'm considering maybe doing an individual review of each episode, because each episode follows a different game franchise, and so I think that's actually kind of cool, to be completely honest. Apart from that, there was nothing else really exciting at Gamescom. Like, it was just one big flop. I mean, okay, the new Mafia game might be fun, but at the same time, I have Mafia 3 and I haven't played it yet. So, why would I get another Mafia game when I haven't played Mafia 3? So, yeah, Gamescom was just kind of like, not even that. It was just really disappointing. I mean, I was planning on doing a whole video on the good and the bad with Gamescom, but, like, honestly, I cared about nothing at Gamescom. It was all disappointing. There was rumors that there was going to be a Death Stranding 2 video. No, there wasn't. And so, maybe Tokyo Game Show will have something interesting. Unlikely, though. Now, there's this other thing going on with this debate on 30 frames per second. A lot of people are saying 30 frames per second is unplayable. If it's not 60 frames per second, don't waste my time. And, like, honestly, some of the best games ever made are at 30 frames per second. Like, honestly, some of the 30 frames per second haters, it's like... So, like, you're just new to video games, because for the past, I don't know, 20-some-odd years, vast majority of games were 30 frames per second. You got the rare exceptions, like Call of Duty was doing 60 frames per second for their campaigns, and it was, like, impressive. It's, like, really impressive that your game is to work like that. But typically, games are at 30 frames per second. And, like, you know, with some games, unlike my PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X, they give you the option. Do you want faster frame rates, or do you want better graphics with like ray tracing? And I usually go with the 30 frames per second ray tracing, because it's something that I don't normally get to see with a video game. Ray tracing's kind of new for me. 60 frames per second isn't. And, you know, with my TV, I've done a video on how, like, my TV can actually play stuff at 60 frames per second even when it wasn't originally made it. I can kind of get the best of both worlds. Sometimes the game gets optimized where you can get, like, 40 frames per second and ray tracing, and it's like, honestly, the difference between 40 and 60, it's not as noticeable as 30 and 60. And so, like, for me, it's not that big of a deal if a game's 30 frames per second. So, I think it's a ridiculous debate going on. I just want to throw my 2 cents in there. So, now, last but not least, they made this, what was this company called? Culture Crave. They released this, like, spreadsheet of all the major releases coming out in 2025. And I looked at it, and I'll admit there's a couple movies I'm somewhat interested in. Like Captain America, Brave New World, I'm not interested at all. Like, period. It's being read by the same guy who wrote Falcon and Winter Soldier. He does not get Captain America, and so I have no interest in seeing any more sewage come from that writer. Then the Thunderbolts, I really don't care. I might watch it when it comes to streaming, but like, just because I like Deadpool Wolverine doesn't mean that I'm now an MCU fan again. Like, there's a lot of flops that still need to happen before I start consistently watching MCU films. I've heard rumors that the MCU is going back to the way things were in terms of writing and direction, but they have like a year or two of crap still stuck in the pipeline that they have to get out before you start seeing good content again. And so, the new Superman movie, I don't know, the behind the scenes photos I've been seeing, I'm not interested at all. I'll give it a try because I'm not a die-hard James Gunn fan, but I do enjoy some of his work. I like his Guardians of the Galaxy films. I did enjoy Suicide Squad, but there's some of his other movies that I wasn't nuts about, so it's not like everything he touches is pure gold. I really, really, really do not like the official logos they've revealed. Like the Batman logo? What the fuck is this? Seriously. Like, that's going to be the official logo for Batman in the new DC film universe? I'm sorry, get out of here with that stupid shit. So, the new Superman film, I'm waiting to see a trailer, but I don't have high hopes for it. Fantastic Four, I don't have high hopes for it. It's being made by the guy who made the worst television series of all time, WandaVision. Okay? I really have no interest. If everyone and their mother says it's the greatest film ever, I might give it a try, but I have no hopes for Fantastic Four. Mickey 17 is this weird science fiction that's... I might give a try. It's an original IP, so maybe I like original ideas because we don't get them that often. Paddington 3, I haven't seen the first two, so why would I watch the third one? I hear they're pretty good, but I don't care. Ryan Coogler's vampire film, I don't care. I'll wait for a trailer. Disney's Snow White, yeah. I'm not watching that shit show. Minecraft the movie, I've never played Minecraft, so why would I care? Flowervale Street, I don't even know what that is. Mission Impossible 8. Oh yeah. I've loved every chapter in the series. I absolutely want to see 8. I've been waiting for 8 since last year because it was supposed to come out last year. And so I'm really excited for 8. I want to see 8. And yeah, that's about it. Karate Kid, I need to catch up with my viewing of the Karate Kid films to be able to get excited for this. All I've seen is 1. So I kind of gotta watch the second one, and then the series Cobra Kai, and then the Jackie Chan Karate Kid, because apparently this one has Jackie Chan and Ralph Macchio in it, so basically they're all one shared universe. I need to catch up with that before I get excited for that. F1, Mithrigan 2.0. I know it's Megan, but I call it Mithrigan. Actually, Megan was on like my best of the year list, I think last year maybe, but I really enjoyed that film and I bought it. I own it, so I'm willing to check out the second one if it has the same quality as the first one. They don't do something stupid with the story. Yeah, I'll check it out. Elio, I don't know what that is, so why would I be excited for it? Ballerina, a John Wick story. So I love the John Wick franchise, and I've heard some like bad rumors behind this movie. Like the test audiences did not go well. They postponed this a year to do reshoots. I'm going to give it a try because I love the John Wick franchise. Keanu Reeves is going to do a cameo in it because it takes place between 3 and 4. And yeah, I'm hopeful. I'm interested in The Ballerina, a John Wick story. How to Train Your Dragon live action. Maybe. Because I saw the original first one and it was a very charming movie, I will admit. And so I'm curious to see what they do with the live action one. Jurassic World 4. Apparently, this is going to have the same screenwriter as the first and second one. First one, yay. Second one, no. Although the effects in the second one were pretty good. It's starring Scarlett Johansson. Like, I don't know. I've always enjoyed seeing dinosaurs on the big screen, and hopefully they do a good job with this. Maybe they might do some practical effects, seeing how well the push for practical was for Alien Romulus. I don't know. Maybe they might actually bring back some practical effects for Jurassic World. So, I don't know. Damien Chazelle's next film, I don't know who that is, and I don't care. Paul Thomas Anderson's next film, I don't care. Nobody 2. Fuck yes. The first Nobody is such a fun, entertaining movie, and I mean, if they get most of the cast back, it's going to be a fun sequel. I love the director. I like the production company. I like the stunt crew. I even like Bob Odenkirk? Yeah, I think I got his name right both times. Yeah, if you haven't seen Nobody, just one, check it out. It's a fantastic movie. Nobody 2 is going to be awesome. Saw 11. I stopped caring about Saw when the second one happened. So, check out the first Saw. Excellent film. Ignore the other ones. Tron Ares. So, I like Tron Legacy. It's a fantastic film. I really enjoyed it. It was fun seeing the big screen. It's gonna suck that Daft Punk isn't doing the music for Tron, because that was like just a match made in heaven. The music is being done by 9 Inch Nails, and that's a little bit of a red flag for me, because while 9 Inch Nails has had some great songs, when it comes to movies, apart from The Killer, their music is always way too loud. Like, it's ruined some movies. Like, David Fincher loves using the lead singer of 9 Inch Nails to do his music, and the music's always way too loud, and it's on at the worst time. And so when people are just talking normally like this, the music is all the way up at 11, and you cannot hear anyone speak. And I'm terrified they're going to do that with Tron Ares. So, I don't know. Maybe. I might give it a try. I want to check out the trailer first. Mortal Kombat 2? Maybe. I like the idea of Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, but, I'll probably watch it, because I have the first one. It's not a perfect film, but there's fun to be had with it. I hope Kano's back, because he was just like the star of the show. He was just priceless in every scene he was in. Black Phone 2, I don't know. The first one was a surprise for me. I'll admit, like, I was generally impressed by the first Black Phone movie, and I put it on, like, the best movie of the year list. So, like, the first one did surprise me. I don't know how you do a sequel that can top the first one. Like, that kind of just felt like a movie to me that didn't need a sequel. So, I don't know. We'll find out. Blade, I don't think is happening this year. I think they indefinitely postponed that because it's been such a mess making that movie, and with the spoiler for Deadpool and Wolverine, by the way, when they brought Wesley Snipes back on to play Blade in that movie, talk started circulating again, like, okay, how about we just do a Wesley Snipes Blade movie again? Because that's what the people want. And so, look, nothing against Mahershala Ali. If you could pronounce that guy's full name, I will be impressed. Like, they showed it in Predators, and it's just like... the fuck does that say? So, I hear he's a very nice guy, but he's just not Blade for me. For me, there's only one Blade, and it's Wesley Snipes. Zootopia 2, I haven't seen the first one, so I don't care. Five Nights at Freddy's 2, I'll wait till it's on streaming, because I saw the first one, it was okay. Personally, for me, I'm a Willy's Wonderland type of guy, and I understand it's a knockoff of Five Nights at Freddy's, but give me a Willy's Wonderland 2 with Nick Cage, please. Avatar, Fire and Ash, yeah, I'll watch it, because even though I'm not a diehard fan of those films, I like seeing what visual advancements they do with the big screen, and so it's always fun seeing that in 3D, and, you know, the 45 frames a second was cool, but it was way too inconsistent. It popped on, popped off, popped on, popped off, and so, like, if they do that again, it'd be nice to see through the entire movie, or for them to just turn it off. But yeah, I'll probably watch it at the theater just because an Avatar movie is kind of like an event, and so, I mean, I enjoyed the second one better than the first one, and so I don't know, maybe I'll like the third one better than the second one. Then there's The Wolfman. I'm kind of interested in this because I think the guy who did Invisible Man is doing this one, and I'm intrigued. I've always loved the Universal Monsters, and if this is successful, then they might move on with that Creature from the Black Lagoon movie, and so I'll probably watch Wolfman. Scary Movie 6, I don't care. There have always been really stupid movies I've never cared. I was having trouble reading that font. Wake Up Dead Man, I don't know what that is. I don't care. Kendrick Lamar's and South Park creators comedy? I really don't care. The Accountant 2. Okay. So, yeah. Absolutely. The first Accountant is an awesome movie. And it's one of the few movies that actually does a good job, like, playing around with the whole autism might be a superpower thing. They do it in a very creative and interesting way that actually works, unlike The Predator. Like, you know, there's actually some tact with the Accountant. It's not just, oh, you're amazing every way. No, it's like, they did show that this guy has a lot of personal problems in his life, but he was able to cultivate it into a talent, and I'm giving away too much of the movie. It's an awesome movie. Definitely go watch it. I definitely want to see the sequel. Insidious 6, I don't know. The first two Insidious films are amazing. Third one was okay. Fourth one was okay. I haven't seen the fifth one yet. 6, I mean, look, these are dirt cheap to make movies that always make a shit ton of money, and the guys behind it, James Wan and Lee Winnell, they always make sure that it ends up being a half-decent movie, at the very least, so I might give it a try. Monkey's Paws Him? I don't care. The Bride. If this is about the Bride Frankenstein, maybe. If it's something else, I don't know, and I don't care. Now You See Me 3. No. I'm not interested, because the first Now You See Me I absolutely enjoyed. I really enjoyed the first Now You See Me. Then I saw the second one, and the second one sucked ass. There was a fun character in it, you know, there was this running gag in it, but I did not like the second Now You See Me. And so the third one, it's like, I'll just watch the first one again. The SpongeBob SquarePants movie. I'm not going to see it in the theaters, but I've always enjoyed SpongeBob SquarePants, so I might eventually watch it on home release. Benny Safdie's The Smashing Machine. Don't know, don't care. Michael, the Michael Jordan biopic. Don't care. The Conjuring 4. Pass. And then 28 Years Later. Yeah, I'll probably watch that, because I've always enjoyed that series. The first 28 Days Later is like one of the best zombie films ever made. A benchmark in how to do a great zombie film. And then the sequel, 28 Weeks Later, pretty fantastic sequel. I mean, it doesn't beat the first one, but definitely gets your blood pumping and some great scenes. And my only real criticism of the sequel is the cryptic ending. So maybe they'll resolve that with 28 Years Later. I don't know why they're going with the title 28 Years Later, though. They should have done 28 Months Later. Then the next one could have been 28 Years Later, and, you know, but they just completely jumped over the months. There was days, and then weeks, and now years. Like, they should have done months. But I digress. So, anyway, what are your guys' opinions on the stories today? Do you agree with me on some of them? Do you agree with me on my picks for the movies I'm most looking forward to next year? Do you disagree with me on anything? Sing off in the comments down below. My name's Chris Concord with 11 Hour Reviews, and that will be all for today.